The Australian team is first out for the second test at Brisbane's Lang Park, headquarters of the Queensland Rugby League. Great Britain is again captained by Brian Edgar. The tourists have 3 changes from their victorious first test combination: Wrigglesworth, Myler and Ramsey for Stopford, Buckley and Bryant. In only the second Anglo-Australian test played at Lang Park, Walsh wins the toss. Perhaps a good omen for Australia, as he lost it in Sydney. There's a record crowd of almost 45,000 as Keegan kicks off for Great Britain. The ball is fielded by right winger Irvine, who makes towards halfway before being taken by Edgar. The British pack, who played such a prominent part in the first test, move up smartly, preventing the Kangaroos straightening the attack. Second row Mantle taking Smith down. Australia's forwards try to ruck the ball out, but they're held in their own 25. The rugged pattern of the game is established in the opening minutes, with high tackling very much in evidence. Smith endeavours to find openings, but meets the force of the Lions forwards. From the dummy half position, Walsh tries to send his forwards through, but the tight British defence jolts their progress. Drawing the defence, Walsh sends Wittenberg through the ruck, but he loses the ball in Watson's tackle. Gillett Mantle gains possession, turning defence into attack. Using their speedy, powerful forwards, Britain penetrate. Ramsey making good ground until Smith's one-leg tackle brings him down. Gathering a loose ball, Langlands eases Australia's position as the cover defence maintains a high standard. Tempers are beginning to flare as the Kangaroos switch the point of attack, and the rival packs are having a tense, bruising battle. Britain are ruled offside, a penalty to Australia and a great chance for Keith Barnes. It's there, and the Kangaroos lead 2-0. Unable to effectively counter Britain's defensive methods, the Kangaroos are held in check. And on the few occasions the ball travels along the back line, the centres are crowded, preventing any penetration. A pass from Walsh is intercepted by Flanagan, but he's offside. Mantle clashes with Gleeson as Thornett counters for his teammate. More enterprising in attack, Britain look dangerous as nimble-footed Bishop sidesteps his way through tackles. On to Flanagan, then to Brook, but again Smith saves a threatening situation. The slow-motion camera graphically portrays the tough encounter as Gleeson is heavily grounded by Bishop and Hardesty. Although having a good share of the ball, Australia are driven crabwise across the field as the tourists move up on their man. Fending off the defence, Thornett gets his pass away to Kelly, but he's hip thrown by Flanagan. It was at Lang Park 4 years ago Great Britain defeated Australia to win the series, but the Kangaroos are determined there'll be no repeat performance this year. Lynch attempts to crash through, but he's halted by Ramsey and Edgar. Walsh varies the distribution of the ball, trying to get his backs moving, but there's no opening and Irvine reverses play. The opposition are caught on the wrong foot as Smith spears through, but he's taken by Bishop. Retaining the initiative, the Kangaroos launch passing raids, but the Lions are not to be out-general. Walsh to Thornett, on to Greaves, playing his first test, but he feels the impact of Bishop and Myler. Watson, on a typical crashing run, carries tacklers with him as he makes it to Australia's territory. The 26-year-old prop forward plays the ball to Bishop, the smallest player on the field. He's taken head high by Langlands and lashes out in retaliation. Striving to split the defence, the backs launch several raids, but the big Australian forwards are positioned for any emergency. Keegan comes in to make the extra man, but he's driven back by Gleeson, who's in the Australian lineup at the expense of Gary Banks. Half-time, with the Kangaroos holding a 2-0 lead. In 5 previous post-war tests in Brisbane between the two nations, Britain have won 4, Australia 1. Barnes sends the ball deep on the resumption. It's taken by centre Ian Brook, who's heavily grounded by Thornett. Britain's hope for victory lies in their opening up play, which they try to do at almost every opportunity. Wrigglesworth's solid burst is halted by Barnes. Watson again fending off Lynch. He's held by Langlands. The forwards are using softening up measures, hoping to weaken the defence to allow their backs greater freedom. The Kangaroos eagerly accept the challenge, and there's some heavy tackling and heated exchanges under the pressure of the hard struggle. Referee Pearce orders 22-year-old second rower Bill Ramsey from the field on a charge of kicking after 4 minutes of the second half. Ramsey is playing in his first Anglo-Australian test, and with his dismissal, Britain's winning chances diminish. Employing short passing bursts, the British packs search for cracks in the defence, and there are many spiteful incidents. Bishop, often acting as dummy half, gets the ball flowing along the back line, but the Australians allow them no room to move. Myler being stopped by Beavers and Gleeson, who regains possession for the Kangaroos. With gaps appearing in the British rucks, the Australian forwards charge through, but are met by tigerish defence. Keeping the ball in amongst the forwards, they tend to bunch up and are offside, giving Britain a good chance to equalise scores. Keegan is right on target. It's 2-all. Choking off Edgar's attempt to get the ball moving, the Kangaroos defend grimly, and even a stray dog gets some pretty harsh treatment. As he did in the Sydney Test, Watson uses his strength to telling effect. He sends to Burgess, who shows his displeasure at King's tackle. The tough tackling is not restricted to the players. Wrigglesworth dashes into Australia's 25 before being taken by Barnes and King. With a chance to apply pressure, the pacey halves take over. Hardesty sending to Bishop, who short kicks over the line, only to be late tackled by Wittenberg, and Britain is awarded a penalty. Making no mistake, Keegan takes the tourists to a 4-2 lead. They soon lose advantage as Bishop is penalised for not putting the ball in straight, and Barnes, who kicked 5 goals in the first test, has a golden opportunity. It's there, and the scores are again levelled at 4-all. Although winning a good share of the ball, the Kangaroos' handling is suspect. Lornette sends King away, and he's in the clear, but close to the line is claimed by Watson and Keegan. Breaking out of tackles, Mantle spearheads a British counter-offensive into Australia's territory. On to Burgess, but he's grasped by Smith. Before the defence form up, a snappy play the ball provides Britain with a chance to continue their attack. Barnes saves with a well-judged tackle, but Britain are within sight of Australia's line. Robinson sends to Bishop, on to Hardesty, then Wrigglesworth. Across to Burgess, but the winger is unable to hold the ball and knocks on with the line wide open. Back comes Australia as Barnes penetrates until Hardesty takes him down. With time running out, the Ashes are in the balance and possession is vital. Queensland farmer Wittenberg sends to Beavers, on to Thornett, then to Smith as the Kangaroos increase their tempo. But Mantle's cover jolts the movement. Sweeping play back to the forwards, Lynch makes ground before sending to Kelly, and Britain are in trouble. They're ruled offside, a couple of yards outside their 25, well within match-winning distance for Barnes. Remaining, Australia leads 6-4. Great Britain must make use of every second and hold the ball, otherwise Australia will close up the game. On the other hand, the Kangaroos will need restraint in their bid to gain possession. Penalties could prove disastrous. Britain continue to throw the ball about. It's their only chance, and calculated risks have to be taken. Mantle dummies, but Smith and King take him. Under extreme pressure, Britain's handling is safe as Edgar sends to Robinson, but Australia, equally composed in defence, jolt the ball from Bishop's grasp. Gleeson gathering for Australia. From their 25, Australia ruck the ball out. They can't afford a mistake with Britain standing up on them, hoping for one last chance of possession. Smith breaks away from Mantle and, eluding Watson, clears the danger area before being grounded by Mantle and Brook. In a thrilling climax, Wittenberg passes to Greaves, who ducks an attempted head-high tackle by Burgess. Lynch breaks away down the centre, but he's leapt upon by Myler and taken to earth. With just on a minute's playing time left, Beavers swings a pass across to Gleason, but he's got nowhere to go. Coming in as dummy half, Irvine dispatches an overhead pass to Smith, but the halfback is taken by Robinson. The forwards tighten up play and gradually make towards Britain's line. Within a few yards of the goal mouth, Wittenberg is grounded by the tireless Mantle. The end is only seconds away as Walsh passes to Greaves. Bishop quickly moves in to dump the 13-stone centre, heralding another heated encounter. The hooter sounds the finish of the match. Australia winning 6-4, their first victory against Britain in Brisbane since 1950. And it's the first Anglo-Australian test since 1933 in which no tries were scored. But on that occasion at Leeds, Britain were successful when Jim Sullivan kicked 2 goals for a 4-0 win. Now, it's back to Sydney for the third and deciding match in the battle for the 1966 Ashes.